Yes, definitely. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon, and thank you for your patience. We're here today to announce great news, I think. For those of us who've been in public service for a long time, days like today don't happen too often. We're announcing that the Section 8 waiting list has opened up for the first time in a decade. It's been 10 years since the state has been in a position to accept Section 8 applications. This really is a testament to the administration and staff, the Hawaii Public Housing Authority, the board, and every employee involved with providing housing for those who are the biggest challenge in our communities. I'm here with Rachel Wong, the director of Department of Human Services, the Hawaii Public Housing Authority's chair, Pono Shim, and Barbara Arashiro, who runs the public housing program. A major focus of this administration is to increase housing. Homelessness is connected to our ability to provide housing for our community at all levels, because we don't have enough homes for our community. We've identified 3 levers of change to address homelessness. It is about affordable housing, it's about health and human services, and it's about public safety. And a few weeks ago, we announced that the legislature's $12 million allocation would support each of these 3 areas. And today, we are focusing on affordable housing. To start things off, I'd just like to introduce Pono Shim, Chair of the Hawaii Public Housing Authority Board, and Barbara Arashiro, Executive Assistant for Public Housing, to talk about the work that they've been doing and what really has brought us to this point. Thanks.
Mahalo, Governor, and aloha. On behalf of the Hawaii Public Housing Authority, we really do want to mahalo Governor Ige and Director Wong and all the support that they give us in public housing. Today, yes, we are pleased to announce the opening of the Section 8 waiting list, and that the HPHA actively contributes solutions to address the homeless crisis in Hawaii. Earlier this year, the Hawaii Public Housing Authority launched a special rent supplement program targeted at homeless families, and today we announced the opening of the Section 8 waiting list, which is another housing assistance tool available to help the people of Hawaii, and like the Governor mentioned, the ecosystem of housing. Over the last decade, more than 8,000 people have been able to obtain and maintain housing through this federally subsidized rental assistance program. And over the last decade, we have also seen a 375% increase in landlords participating in the programs, and currently there are more than 1,000 landlords who are helping provide stability that families need to thrive in our community. At this time, I'd like to introduce Barbara Arashiro to talk about the important details of this opening of the program. Barbara.
Thank you, Chair Shim. Today, we're pleased to announce the opening of the Section 8 waiting list. We're going to reopen the list on Tuesday, August 16th, and close at midnight on Thursday, August 18th. In order to increase public access, the Hawaii Public Housing Authority is launching a web-based application portal. Applicants can get more information about the HPHA's programs at our website. The address is www.hpha.hawaii.gov, or to start the application process, you can go directly to www.hpha.apply4housing.com. At this time, we're accepting applications from eligible individuals or families who are homeless, victims of domestic violence, or involuntarily displaced families. We also want to encourage those who are homeless to work with service providers to access the application portal. One important reminder to applicants is there is no fee to apply or to have your application processed or reviewed. If you are ever asked to pay for a fee to apply or to have an application processed or reviewed, we ask the public to please contact our office and report it immediately. Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Director Wong.
Good morning. Thank you, Pono and Barbara. This is just tremendous news. It's very, very positive. And I want to share that the opening of the Section 8 wait list, it really comes back to what the governor has set as his vision and his values. It's about better serving people in Hawaii and changing systems to be able to invest in children and families and those who most need services and programs. I just wanted to touch really quickly upon, we talked about this before, Ohana Nui, which is another extension of the governor's vision and values. It means extended families in Hawaiian, and it comes from our former foster youth who have named it. It's the state approach to improve health, education, employment, and housing outcomes. This is the way, and I'd like to introduce next Robert Kubota, who has joined us today. He's going to share some of his own personal experiences and talk about how addressing the social determinants of health, how access to affordable housing can change lives for individuals and for families. Robert.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Robert Kubota, Vice President of Douglas Engineering Pacific. I hope that what I can share today can give someone the courage to stand up for their own future. For the many people I've been privileged to meet and know around town, many do not know that just 11 years ago, my young family and I were living in low-income housing. I grew up with what I would consider a silver spoon. We weren't rich, but we had more than enough. I never thought that I would one day live in low-income housing or be a beneficiary of the welfare system. I was 26 years old. I had struggled. My girlfriend, soon-to-be wife, Dana, and I were living in a one-bedroom apartment located near the freeway. We had found out we were going to be parents. It was by far the scariest day in my life. I wasn't sure where my life was headed, and now I was going to be a father. I was making about $24,000 a year, and Dana was on welfare. I figured that we could continue to live where we were, but it would be extremely difficult. Then someone mentioned the idea of applying for low-income housing. What could I really lose? A year later, we were living in a low-income housing project in Makiki, participating in the welfare system that included financial assistance, Quest, and WIC. A year later, we decided that we would be leaving low-income housing. By then, God had blessed us with more opportunity in my career, and we were getting closer and closer to the income limits of the housing program. It really was time for us to go. In hindsight, we were very lucky. Having these programs are so important in helping people grow. It's hard to believe that we were blessed to have the opportunity to have benefited from these types of social programs, housing and welfare. I understand that for many people today, this situation is common. Like many, I was desperate to find something better. But what I really found was that I was desperate to find help. It turned out to be one of the best experiences of my life, increasing my perspective into myself and many others who are struggling in their own lives today. Today I manage a company that consists of 12, including myself, with the goal of adding one staff member per year for the foreseeable future. Our goal is more than just engineering. Our goal is to help people in the same way these programs are designed to help people. Our goal is to encourage others to humble themselves and to seek help. Let's face it, as individuals, we're not that great. But together, I think we can do great things. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I think, we have been focused on really, providing assistance to prevent people from falling into the state of homelessness. We have been working hard to get all the levers in the program to work. It's really about trying to get people off the street, provide them a stable opportunity, wrap them in the services that they need, mental health, substance abuse, or other health services, and allow them to transition from homelessness to having a home. And I think Robert is a prime example of what can happen when we provide a hand up to people, and especially those who are motivated to make their lives better. We have made significant progress in affordable housing. This Section 8 waiting list opening is just one more example of the progress that we made. I just wanted to thank Barbara and the rest of the team at Hawaii Public Housing and their staff for all of the hard work they've done. I also wanted to thank Robert for sharing his story. It really is inspiring. So much of what we focus on, I think, is when the system doesn't work. I think it's really important that we acknowledge in many instances the programs that we have really do provide the opportunity for people to change their lives. And with that, that's all that we had on this. I don't know if you had any questions specifically on the housing program.
How many vouchers are you expecting to give out in this round? Could you give us the dates again for the application?
Sure. So the dates of the opening will be Tuesday, August 16th, and then the list will close on Thursday, August 18th.
Why only 2 days?
It's a 3-day opening. We expect to receive somewhere close to 12,000 applicants in that 3-day period. So it's an online portal, so they can apply at any time, day or night.
What's being done to help people with language access issues or internet access issues?
So the application portal can be accessed from anywhere you have internet. So it can be accessed from your mobile device. We also have, we're going to have laptops available at our offices. The web features 11 different languages. And if anyone needs a different type of assistance, then they can contact our office directly and we'll provide that assistance.
And how many vouchers are you expecting to give out in that 3-day window?
The number of vouchers we issue are going to depend on the budget, of course. But we hope to, within the first 30 days, have at least 50 new vouchers on the street.
You say you expect to receive 12,000 applicants. Is that how many there are on the waiting list?
The wait list is completely exhausted at this time, so we're opening it to fill up the waiting list. Yeah.
What exhausted means.
Oh, so so there's nobody on the waiting list right now. Yeah.
And will it be ranked in part on first come? The first who signs up will be the top of the list? Or are you ranking by whether they're homeless or?
So the 3 involuntarily displaced and the victims of domestic violence are not weighted, so they all have equal weight. So they will all be served by date and time.
Are you posting any outreach to let these people know that they got only next week to apply within the 3 days? Is there any outreach, or it's up to them to find out about this?
Correct. So we have, we've contacted all of the homeless service providers. We've actually done training with them previously to show them how the online portal will work, so that we can get, the homeless families can apply directly with the homeless providers. We're going to put ads in the newspaper. It's going to run for about 7 days on all islands, and we're also advertising in the minority newspapers. We've contacted a lot of the nonprofits that we work with or that we're aware of, and we're sending out information.
And certainly, any contribution you folks can make to help us to do that would be greatly appreciated. You know, this is an ecosystem that we have here in our community, and everybody's contributions are really, really significant to this crisis that we're addressing.
Well, let me ask you, I know it's been a long time coming since, we were able to open up this Section 8 waiting list. What does it feel like knowing that you're able to make this announcement today and get some help out there in the community?
Thank you, Moani. You know, last year when I attended my first board meeting, our director addressed the board and asked, how can we make a difference? Because he had gone down to Kaka'ako, and we manage public housing. So we deal with the folks who are the last step before they get there. But it was an appeal to, can we find a way to give a significant concern or attention to all the capabilities that we have in managing our resources? This is one of the things besides the Rent Supplement program that we did. And I think I'm just really, really proud of our staff. I'm really proud of our ED and the board that we have, because everyone is working together with the administration. Even though they don't see it, it's happening. And so I guess maybe the simple answer is elation. Yeah, that we're doing something, and it's significant. Thank you, Moani.
Does everyone who was on the waiting list have vouchers now, and also they're in housing, or just they got vouchers?
Everyone who was eligible and on the waiting list either has a voucher and has housing, or is currently still searching for a unit.
What's the average voucher dollar amount in Hawaii?
It's close to $1,000 a month.
How did we get here? Did we get more funding, or did more people get out? Why is there all this extra?
I do think that it was a direct result of the Hawaii Public Housing Authority staff. The board definitely focused. We looked at the challenge of homelessness, and it really was about ensuring that all the different pieces need to work in concert together. The Section 8 program really allows us to move a person or family from the state of homelessness into a permanent situation with the appropriate support to help them keep there. So I think it was the collective effort of everyone recognizing that we need to have more permanent opportunities for those who can least afford it. This Section 8 program is one of them. The board has been working on re-envisioning the public housing communities, and we are in the process of executing agreements with developers to change the nature of those communities, to really broaden the spectrum of what a public housing community would look like. So this is all part and parcel of our effort to make more affordable housing available to our communities at all of the price points, at all of the different areas where people need assistance.
I was told that the waiting list was supposed to be open last November. What caused the delay?
Coordination.
Yeah, it was a matter of coordination between our existing programs, the Department of Human Services, and just making sure that we were ready to accept that many applications at one time.
I think that we talked about it at the beginning, and maybe we didn't emphasize, this is the first time in 10 years. Expect thousands of applications, probably 10, 12,000 applications. So we needed to make sure that we had the processes in place. Obviously we talked about people who don't speak English and making sure that they have access to appropriate language on the website, as well as support and organizations who can help those that may be eligible apply and go through the application process. So, I think it was making sure that we had the administrative processes in place that would allow us to accept thousands of applications in a relatively short period of time.
How many people who have vouchers are still looking for housing?
Yeah, we'll have to get back.
We can probably get back, and we've been doing a lot of different things. Scott, we've had landlord summits on each of the islands. We've tried to explain to landlords that really accepting Section 8 voucher doesn't mean you're isolated and having to deal with the challenges of someone moving from homelessness into permanent housing, that there are lots of social service programs, case management, health support, in addition to other things just about allowing for repair of damaged properties. We wanted to make sure that the landlords understood that accepting a Section 8 voucher is a state support, federal support for providing support to that individual or family to keep them in permanent housing in a long way. So, I mean, we can get you the number of vouchers that are outstanding, but you know, we do know that it's really about moving people with vouchers into permanent housing, and we've been working both the supply and the demand side of that equation.
In terms of the landlords, you mentioned over the last 20 years there was an increase of a certain number of landlords, certain percentage of landlords. What about more recently, like since having that landlord summit, like in the last year or so, have you seen an increase?
Well, I was just on the Big Island. We talked about at least 40 people, landlords signing up in the very first few summits. And Scott, I don't know if you want to talk about, the summits have been very well received. Many landlords were not aware of the other kinds of support programs that would be available if they were to provide housing to Section 8 voucher holders. And
Thank you. So, as the governor mentioned, we've convened landlord summits in Honolulu, in Hawaii County, and in Maui County over the past 6-7 months, and the response just has been tremendous. I think for the Hawaii County Landlord Summit we had in Hilo, shortly after we had 40 new landlords on board just within the first couple of days. And I know the summit we had here in Honolulu, a day after we had convened everyone at Dole Cannery, we had someone stepping forward with I think about 70 units that they were willing to offer up. So we have that happening every day in every part of our community. In addition to that, the State Department of Human Services, we have a specific program. It's called the Housing Placement Program that provides first month rent and deposit assistance for homeless families who are looking to find specialists contracted with nonprofit providers that help people look for units. So if they're a voucher holder and they're searching, they provide them the support to help them find a place, as well as that first month rent and deposit and supportive case management over the next few months to help them get stabilized in their home. So as the governor was saying, there's also that support that we provide for landlords to help people kind of stabilize.
Any other questions on this topic? Could you clarify is this just for Oahu or is it statewide? I know the counties have their own section on the neighbor islands.
Correct. So the Hawaii Public Housing Authority's program is primarily based on Oahu, but the Housing Choice Voucher Program allows voucher holders to port their voucher to any state in the nation.
Any state.
Any state, yes.
I wanted to ask for Robert's full name.
Sorry. Robert Kubota. Douglas Engineering Pacific. Douglas Engineering Pacific. Yeah, you're welcome.
thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks so much. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing.
No problem.